After years of hard work, engineers and architects in Abu Dhabi had created a building structure that was never possible. It was the structure of the Capital Gate building, which was built at the special request of Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan of Abu Dhabi. Because the weight of millions of tons of this building was bent only on one side. That is why the engineers were afraid that if the weight was increased even a little from the calculation, then this structure of the building could collapse in one bridge. To reach here, the challenges faced by the construction team for the Burj Khalifa might not have been met by the construction team because the design of the Capital Gate was a design that was very close to breaking the laws of physics. Welcome to the new video of ZTV. At the exact time when the building was ready for launch, a message came to the construction team from the Khalifa of Abu Dhabi, in which he said that he also wanted a helipad on the top of the building. This message fell like a mountain on the construction team, because the load of the building was already at the extreme limit. Neither the space was left for a helipad nor the design of the building was permitting it, and the engineers did not have the guts to forbid the sheikh, so the only solution left was to build the helipad in any case be made possible. But the problem was how all this would be possible. Capital Gate in Abu Dhabi is the only building in the world which is not so high, but it regularly shook the rules of architecture. More than half the weight of this 524-foot tall building leans to one side. But this was not due to any mistake, but this was his design. Because the tilt of the Capital Gate is 5 times higher than the Tower of Pisa in Italy. For this reason, it has also received the Guinness Book of World Records. But what was the need of Sheikh of Abu Dhabi to build such a dangerous building? In fact, there is a worldwide race to build one unique structure after another. In order to participate in this race and to attract tourism from around the world, Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan of Abu Dhabi also entered the field in 2007. His target was not to build the tallest building, but to build a building whose design was to be seen. People came from all over the world, which doesn't take much time to make and also defies the laws of physics. To achieve this goal, the Caliph assigned the responsibility of this work to his cousin Sheikh Sultan. From these works, Sultan has commissioned London's top architecture firm RMJ contacted M, and this was the first step to construct this building. How the engineers and workers completed this dangerous challenge, how the building was tilted at exactly 18 degrees. We will tell you all this in today's video. This was their biggest challenge when the London-based architecture firm was given the job. They had to create a design that went against their own architectural rules. Many designs of the architecture firm were rejected at first, but then to create this design, they took inspiration from the beautiful sand dunes and sea waves in the desert of Abu Dhabi, and now it was the turn to shape this beautiful combination of nature. Concept architect Neil van der Veen worked day and night to present a design that was given the shape of an ocean wave and whose bottom was like sand dunes, and the view of the building changes completely when viewed from every angle. Sheikh Sultan liked this design very much, but there was a problem. Yes, the design of the Capital Gate required extraordinary engineering to make it a reality, because the top of the building was designed to be a full 108 feet away from its bottom. And because of that, there will be immense forces that will tear the foundation of the building from the ground. The challenge for the Tawab construction team was to design a foundation that could comfortably support the weight of millions of tons of the tilted site. To meet this challenge, project architect Tony Archibald started the foundation work. It was decided to use 400 concrete piles in the foundation of the Capital Gate. That is, its entire load was to be placed on thick iron pipes and concrete filled inside them. But this was no ordinary foundation. 200 piles were placed on the foundation under the site where the building will lean, while the length of the piles on the other side was relatively longer, which were drilled into the large rocks in the ground. Engineers believed that in this way the load of the foundation would be fully distributed. It was just a plan to make a foundation. The design of the Capital Gate was also ready, and now the engineers had prepared an extraordinary foundation plan to distribute the load of the leaning towers. Now it was time to start the work of the foundation. A huge level of excavation was required for this foundation, and about 9,600 tons of soil had to be removed from the ground. That is, the weight of the soil coming out of the ground to lay the foundation alone had to be equal to the weight of 1,600 elephants. It took 8 months to complete this work, but suddenly another problem arose. Yes, on this occasion Sheikh Sultan issued the deadline for this building, because the Future Energy Summit was to be held in Abu Dhabi exactly after 2 years. That is why Khalifa wanted the building to be completed before this energy summit. That means now the engineers had only 24 months in which they had to lay the foundation, complete the building and complete the interior work. As soon as this challenge was met, there was chaos in the entire construction team, due to which they had to change the entire construction time frame, the foundation, which required 8 months of time. It was completed in just 3 months, day and night, because there was no other option. Wasn't either. As soon as the foundation is completely dry, the construction team is back on the field. And now their challenge was to start the construction of the tower. But here they faced another challenge. Normal skyscrapers are built around a solid core that goes straight up. But in the case of the Capitol Gate, if such a core is built, the core can tilt to one side due to tilt, which can have very dire consequences. To deal with this problem, the engineers had to work outside of the conventional thinking, for which it was planned that the cover of the Capitol Gate would be curved rather than straight. And after the cover was completed, the rest of the building was built around it. So now the work of this crude core had to be started as soon as possible so that the work can be completed before the deadline. A staggering 2.15 million kilogram of steel and 3.6 million kilogram of cement concrete had to be used to build this particular type of cover. But now another problem arose here. In the sweltering heat of Abu Dhabi, the temperature reaches 50 degrees Celsius during the day. If concrete is poured in this sweltering heat, it will dry out prematurely, due to which there was a fear of cracks in the roof. So now the construction team had to find a solution so that the concrete does not dry out. Finally, it was thought that the water that will be poured while making concrete will not be of normal temperature but cold water, and the time when concrete will be poured will not be daytime but nighttime when the temperature drops to 30 degrees Celsius. To carry out this work, ice was procured from the ice factory, which was melted and mixed with cement and stones as cold water to make a concrete mixture. It took about 150 nights, i.e. 5 months, to complete the Capitol Gate concrete cover. A world-class structure was being built in the center of Abu Dhabi, more than half of which had been completed, but the real challenge was yet to come. Yes, the construction team had given the core a slightly crude shape, but now it was time for the actual tilting of the building, for which the die grid technology was to be used, in which steel frames were placed around the core in small sections to tilt the building. A total of 720 large iron frames were to be built, but due to the shape of the building, each frame had to be designed separately. That is a total of 720 iron frames. The weight of each frame is 16,000 kilograms and the shape of each frame will be different from each other. A steel manufacturing company in Sharjah was tasked to carry out this work, as the shape of each frame was different from each other, therefore it took them 5 months to complete the entire 720 frames. Finally, as a result of the tireless work of the workers, the dia grid of the Capitol Gate was also completed, along with the installation of window panels. Now only minor works remained in the building which had to be completed before the deadline given by Sheikh Sultan. The building was now very close to the handover when suddenly a message came from the Khalifa's office in Abu Dhabi requesting a helipad on top of the Capitol Gate. The message came as a mountain to the construction team, as everything from the foundation to the die grid was complete and the entire load of the Capitol Gate was pre-calculated. That is, the weight of the helipad and helicopter was not included in the design. This problem proved to be the biggest problem during the construction of the Capitol Gate. Therefore, the finishing work was stopped and all the structural calculations were done again. Were done. After which it was concluded that the structure will bear the weight of the helipad. But the design of the structure is such that the helicopter can crash while landing on the building in strong winds. But now, in any case, this helipad was to be built because it was the Sheikh's request. For this purpose, the model of Capitol Gate was tested in the wind tunnel in London, in which it was proved that the helicopter landing on the building in strong wind will not be without danger. Wind engineer Leighton Aurelia suggested that if these changes were made to the helipad design and the height of the helipad was reduced by 2 meters, this problem could be significantly reduced. When the design of the helipad was changed in the model, surprisingly, the suggestion of the van engineer proved to be true. As soon as this news was received, the construction of the helipad at the Capitol Gate was started and the building was handed over to Sheikh Sultan ahead of time.